I think that these new leaks, in fact, have leaked the next expansion. Now, what do I think about it if that is, in fact, the next expansion, like an Avaloran expansion, west of the Kalimdor continent, all that shit? It's fine. You know, it's fine, but, like, there's nothing you can really draw from that in terms of, like, is the next expansion going to be good? Because what really matters is the content, not the continent. There you go, the content, not the continent. Is the content going to be, you know, more friendly, mushy, you know, oh my god, put the tear of a loon inside me, you know, that kind of stuff, then I'm probably not going to like it. Is it going to be like, you know, crazy, axe-swinging, shield-bashing, sweaty men on top of each other, you know, going all out, fighting for their honor and glory? Then yeah, I'll probably like it. I'll probably think it's a good expansion. Storytelling matters. The story does matter to motivate you to play. And then the content matters. The in-game content matters in terms of, is it fun to play? You need both. Because Dragonflight, honestly, gives us decent in-game content. It's not bad to do at all. But in terms of story, the story doesn't motivate me to play. Like, I personally don't care about two you know, scaly boys holding hands and running through a field of flowers. It's like, that's what I'm playing for? No, I don't care about that. I cared about playing in Legion because I wanted to fuck Gul'dan up after what he did to my boy. To my boy Varian. There was a violent scene where he literally infected him with fel to the point where he exploded into a pile of ash. That was crazy, and my motivation in that expansion was I want to avenge my king. I'm going to get geared, I'm going to get good, and I'm going to come with the biggest freaking sword I can find and axe that fucker. That's what I wanted to do. You wanted to fuck Gul'dan? No, I did not want to fuck Gul'dan. I wanted to fucking kill Gul'dan. God, every time. You guys take all my shit out of context. People are going to think I'm some kind of weird streamer, man. People are going to think I'm fucking weird. Which I am. But we don't want them to know that until they actually get into the stream. Then maybe I can hook them. But if all people see is clips of me saying... Okay. Oh my god, why the fuck did it become huge like that? This is what I'm talking about. If this is all people see from me is clips of me talking about hairy men and voice clips of me talking about cum, nobody's going to join the stream because everyone's going to think this guy's fucked up. What's wrong with him? Cum super rare on me, yeah. I was talking about rare mobs in that clip, okay? I was talking about rare mobs and I was telling everybody come to my position. Obviously, another clip, blurb taken out of context. I've had epic moments on stream where I've literally killed mythic bosses, like from freaking 10%. I had a mythic plus boss that I took down from 30% by myself tanking that shit. Because my entire group died in the first 3 seconds of the fight. But that shit's not up on the clips, is it? No. This is the community I built. Now my streams are just about fucking cum. Look, I mean, even the people who queue up for my raids, this guy's name is Erect Slayer. How do these people find me? How do you guys find me? You know, oh my god, put the tear of a loon inside me. Yeah. Well, you know what? That is what this expansion has been about. I don't take that back. I don't take that back. I don't take that one back. Tear of a loon, that is what has happened. I've essentially, in that clip, summarized this entire expansion. I have. That's what it's been about. It's been weird and kinky, very friendly, and oddly not World of Warcraft. You want the tear of a loon inside you? No, I don't want it inside me. What I'm saying is that's what this essentially summarizes the aesthetic of this entire expansion. Been a bit too much. A bit too friendly. The problem with Warcraft is they have taken the war out of it and made it peacecraft. Exactly. Exactly, Mikey Moto. That is 100% true. There is no more war in Warcraft. We literally just watched an entire video about the Scourge Wars and everything and how violent that shit was. I mean, you talk about Ashbringer being corrupted after it's been put into the chest of his father by his son. There was a lot of chest penetration going on back then. And it was sons killing fathers, fathers killing sons, corruption, death, unbelievable gore. Like, that was the kind of stuff that World of Warcraft was all about. Now it's all about, like, literally one of the descriptions for the next patch is about Rathian and Viranoth flying around and being diplomatic friends to all of the other dragons. Like, this is not some kind of, like, epic, like, oh, the world is bleeding out, everything's gone wrong, Holy shit. Oh, look to the west. What is that? All these other dragons coming in, flying through the air, coming down to save us, ripping fucking wings apart. This epic moment? No. It's not this epic war-torn moment of saving our lives. No. Instead, it's going to be Rathian and Viranath, literally, I'm not making this up, diplomatically bringing the other dragons into our fold to help us defeat our enemies. The power of friendship. Dragon Tales. Moonguard. Goldshire, late at night. This is what this expansion is. It's too much, man. It's too much of that shit. I want more of the war. I want more of the crazy, war is not friendly. War is not a beautiful thing. It's supposed to be like you got to look away sometimes because it becomes too intense. That's what I miss. That's what I miss. I mean, we literally watched Varian fight his way through a Legion army knowing that he was going to die, right? Eventually to have his chest pierced by 2 blades, and then Gul'dan take a fel-infused orb and push it into his chest until he screamed for his very life and exploded. If that was in Dragonflight, I think these dragons would have PTSD. They wouldn't know what to do. They've never seen something that violent in their lives. Where is that shit? Yeah, how is that part of the same game? How I don't think the same people wrote those 2 things, honestly. The most violent thing we've seen in this entire expansion was some S&M weird torture that Farak was doing to that one green Dragonflight Night Elf. And he was stopped by Viranath before it got too intense, because, viewer discretion advised. This is a children's game at this point. Yeah, he couldn't torture him to death. No, he had to be stopped by Viranath. He's turning everything into flame around him. He didn't even burn him. I guess that's the other maybe the other violent thing was when Farak turned that one centaur boy into a pile of ash, but we didn't even see it happen. There was no screams, there was no nothing going. Like, we watched Varian die. We literally watched him scream and his skin crack, and then he fucking exploded. But then the centaur gets burned, and we don't even see the scene. We always saw was like, what was it? We saw like an explosion, and then it fades out to gray, and then the next thing we see is we're in the game, and there's a pile of ash sitting at our feet. Like, that was how we witnessed that scene. You know what I'm saying? Like, they were afraid to show us the actual scene where he got burned. And that's the same game where we watched a fucking human explode from corruption overload. What the hell? We need 3 healers so we can get this raid started. Because ever since we abandoned factions by playing with everyone from both factions, the war in Warcraft has died. Look, faction honestly, take storyline apart. Player population required factions to be gone. Yeah, you can't. You just can't. I played Alliance towards the end of what was, faction division in the game, and you couldn't even raid. You couldn't raid. You couldn't. Like, you could not form up a raid. I'm not talking about Mythic. I'm talking about trying to form up a regular raid. There were literally not enough people playing the game who wanted to raid on the Alliance for you to even play the game. So that had to happen. But that doesn't mean there has to be no violence in the game anymore. I mean, come on. You guys remember the Wrathgate cinematic?
Servant, we have a realm to destroy.
Fun Viking, thank you for the follow. Welcome to our Scourge. You guys remember the Wrathgate cinematic? That was the Alliance and the Horde fighting side by side, being friends. That cinematic was crazy violent. That shit was insane. We watched somebody's soul get sucked out of their body by Frostmourne. Literally one-shotted. I mean, it was badass. What up, Fun Viking? It was a badass cinematic, and that was the Horde and the Alliance working together. But it was still very violent. We watched somebody suffocate to death under a smog of poison in that cinematic. Still very, war. There was literal Warcraft, Vrykul coming out roaring, swords and shields, people dying everywhere. It was a badass cinematic, and the Alliance and the Horde were friends in that cinematic. Just because we're friends doesn't mean there can't be violence in the game anymore. It's just got to be violence against someone else. Can't be against each other, really. Blizzard wanted World of Softcraft and decided to end the faction war. No, I really think Blizzard ended the faction war because of player population. I think if we had 12 million people still playing this game, or 14 million people still playing this game, we'd still have factions. it was a gaming decision, not a storyline decision that led to the friendliness of the factions. But like I said, we've had plenty of faction-friendly, violent moments in the game. Still be violence. A soccer mom sent a complaint in the forums about WoW violence. I'm sure. Like, do we live in a fucking World of Warcraft came out in 2004. Do we live in a more sensitive society today? Of course we do. Of course we do. You know, so do they have? They're I guess they're more sensitive to that. But I say fuck it. I don't think anything in the game was like that atrocious that society today couldn't handle it. And if you don't want to see violence, don't play a game with the fucking word war in the title. This is not Hello Kitty, rub me off adventures. Okay, this is World of Warcraft. If you don't want to see violence, don't play a game with the fucking word war in the title. And it's that simple, honestly. I mean, are they going to take the violence out of Call of Duty next? So you're playing a game about fucking shooting people. Of course there's going to be violence.